let us start our session in this week. Yeah. So far we have discussed the topics under speaking and listening, and we have successfully completed with activities and some exercises. Okay. So how far we have come to? How is our journey to learn English language? How we are implementing? So these kind of questions could be asked ourselves. Okay. First of all, you have to check yourself whether you are following the activities, whether you are doing the activities, whether you are taking an advantage of the language. At the same time, the activities they have designed, the assignments they have designed for us. So these are the important questions we should pose to us. Okay. So all of you, just imagine, just think. So how far you are implementing, how far you are practicing, how far you are recognizing your strengths and your weakness in English language. So we all know that it is important to communicate. So we are discussing and practicing functional English, and our book is specially designed for practical and functional English activities. So it is part of our lives. Okay, it is not for the examination that you complete the chapter 1 and these topics are over and we have done the second chapter. No. Okay, so they are helpful. It is a feedback. We go with the examination. You know one thing, if you practice all these activities daily basis and you improve, you focus on your learning, then it will be easy for you to do your examination without preparation. Okay, so without preparation you could do it, because it is our life's English. Okay, that means the English which we use for our life, our career. So that is the reason we have to keep it in mind that we have to learn it seriously. Until you take it serious, it cannot be achieved. So in that way, all of you have to think and act in English, and take the help of your mother tongue or the language whichever you know. Okay, so to do better in your English communication skills. So all of us, let us move on to the next topic. Okay, and let me tell you, all the topics we have discussed so far are interrelated. Okay, today we just go with how to use a dictionary. Okay, I just show you how to use a dictionary is our topic. It's going to be our topic today. So what is a dictionary? Do you know what is a dictionary? Yes. Have you seen a dictionary? Very good. Yes. Which dictionary? Is it English, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil? Yeah, it can be any language oriented dictionary. So generally, as our Indians, okay, we refer English dictionary. Yes, because it is common. It may be the largest book in our cupboard, racks will be a dictionary only. You could check with your brothers and sisters, elders to you. Okay, who is elder to you, and your father or mother may use the same. So dictionaries, there are plenty of types, and dictionaries belong to the different languages. Plenty of language. We have French dictionary, Russian dictionary, Tamil dictionary, Malayalam dictionary, like this we have plenty of dictionaries. So here we talk about English dictionary, English language dictionary. So why do we need a dictionary, and what is a dictionary? Dictionary is a source to, it supplies, it's source of giving words. Okay, to know the meanings and functions of a particular word. Especially we call it as a new word. The word which we don't know could become a new word. The word which you are listening to first time, or read it for first time, or using for first time, would be a new word for us. Okay, fine. So let us see. So what exactly the importance and the need of a dictionary? How does it is helpful to learn English language? Okay, so our motto is, so how to use a dictionary? First of all, you have to identify, how to see, how to locate a word. Do we read dictionary daily basis? 1 page, 2 pages, just like a story book or a novel or a textbook? No. Dictionary is a reference book. It is a reference book. Whenever you need of a particular words meaning or spelling or pronunciation, usage, you refer a dictionary. We refer a dictionary. So that is the main purpose of a dictionary. So how we do? Yeah, you might have checked in your home. Maybe it is bilingual. Yes. Yeah, sometimes you have only English to English dictionary, English to English word meaning, English to Telugu, English to Hindi, English to Tamil, English to Malayalam, English to Russia, English to French. Okay, vice versa. You can have Telugu to English, Hindi to English, Tamil to English. Yes, they are available. The dictionaries are available in all the languages existing in the world. Most of the languages existing in the world. Okay, so that is the reason. So dictionaries are plenty, and nowadays it is also easy to locate a word on online. Yes, Google. If you if you type a word in Google search, you get the history of the word. Yes, fine. So now it is we have digital dictionaries, at the same time the books. Yes. Now let us see what are the functions, how it is helpful, how it is useful. So whenever you feel that there, you don't know the meaning of a particular word. Yeah, when do we get such situations? Yes, when we read. When we read something, we find some difficult words. Yes, when we see something, we may find to, yeah, understand the situation. You may give the word, but you may not, yeah, understand completely. Yes, fine. When you listen to the lecture, when you listen to the lecture or anything, any audio, okay, when you are listening to someone on audio or media or direct conversation, or when you are talking to your friend, if she uses a particular word, you may feel. Yes, for example, the climate is very beautiful. I say that at present it is raining outside. Wow, what a peaceful weather. Okay, it's raining, it's cool, oh, it's chill. So this kind of beautiful, very pleasant outside. Yeah, but my sister came to me and she said, wow, what an awesome, it's awesome to be, the rain is falling and it is very awesome. What does it mean, awesome? I am describing the same with different words, and she is also describing the same with a different word. It differs to person to awesome. Means it is also pleasant, it is also beautiful, it's just like that, it's really interesting, awesome. Okay, that idea is awesome, the nature is awesome, your dress is awesome, your work is awesome. So we can use this word in plenty of the situations. So now let us see, yeah, let us see the word awesome in the dictionary. Fine. Okay, yeah, here is a PPT, but I do it later. Let me use my digital dictionary for your reference. Now all of you please just focus on my screen touch. Now let us see, I have an online dictionary. Just for an example we do, and now we will discuss about the text book also, the dictionary with the book. Oh, it's there. Yeah. So English. So English dictionary, let me type the word. Yeah. See, you got it. Awesome. So you get, my sister, I said that it is used, yeah. So awesome is an adjective. So the main purpose of a dictionary is, first of all, we want to know the meaning. First we want to understand, yes, the meaning. So the meaning is important. Let us see. Awesome. See the spelling here, AWESOME. Awesome. Okay, fine. Causing awe or terror. That means a kind of wonder. Inspiring wonder or excitement. The waterfall in the middle of the rainforest was an awesome sight. The tsunami was awesome in its destructive power. That means it's very huge, very big. But yes, yeah. So we can use it in a positive sense, at the same time in a negative. So we understood the meaning of the word awesome. It is an adjective they have quoted here. And the second thing is, yeah, that was awesome. Awesome, dude. Your bike is awesome, dude. Okay. In this way, yeah. Now you could see awesome, wonderful, excellent. These are the synonyms. Next, antonym. Awless. There is nothing interesting. There is nothing special. Okay. When something special, wonderful, then only we use the word. Now the antonym of the awesome is awless. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So these they come in different usages. Okay, by installing such apps also we can refer a word with which is a which gives a dictionary meaning. Okay, fine. Let us discuss the other things, other important tools that we learn from a dictionary. Okay, fine. So as we mentioned, first is to understand the meaning. We should understand the meaning. Whenever you read something, we may understand the content, but we may not understand word to word meaning. So in that situation, we feel to refer and know the meaning. Sometimes we ask our elders, sometimes we ask our teachers, sometimes we ask our friends. But every time, any time, it's available is our dictionary. If you have a dictionary, you need not to ask anybody. Okay, so in that way it is really useful. So how do we locate a word in the dictionary? Yes, so first of all, let us see the uses. First thing, meaning. First one, meaning. First we understand what is the context. Okay, fine. Second thing, yeah, it's a pronunciation. How do we pronunciate? Okay, yeah, ucharana. Yes, pronunciation. And third thing, the spelling of the word, because we have silent letters. We have silent letters in English language. So in that way it is helpful. First, meaning. It may not be in order, but generally we go with the meaning. Second, spelling and pronunciation. These are the primary elements that we learn from a dictionary. You know, how do we pronounce? There is a phonetic transcription. So we should know the phonetic transcription, and it is helpful. The dictionary provides the phonetic transcription to the word. And then after these three things, we learn about the category. That means the parts of speech. Okay, so whether it is a noun, adjective, adverb, preposition, it could be anything. So they give that information too. At the same time, it also says about usage. When do we, with some examples, usage. Then it gives synonyms. The related words, the similar words. Synonym means similar, same meaning words. Okay, next we get antonyms. Antonym means the opposite word, opposite to the word. See, how do we build our vocabulary? Yes, by learning, by seeing a new word, we have to refer a dictionary, we have to know the meaning of the new word. Okay, then we should know the pronunciation, usage, we should know the similar words, and then to the antonym, opposite words. In this way we can build our vocabulary. So let us see. Yeah, so these are the primary main steps that we learn. So now how do we use a dictionary? Yeah, how do we use a dictionary? So generally you might have seen a dictionary. Yeah, so we can just take the dictionary into our hands. For example, yeah, let us see the same word, awesome. We have checked the spelling already here. Awesome, AWESOME, awesome. You have seen it. In a mobile app it is easy. We just type and it gives the history of the word. But in a book, the original dictionary, so how do we do? Yeah, So dictionary has some rules. It should go through the alphabetical order. First of all, the words are arranged in a alphabetical order. Alphabetical order. So that is the one thing that we have to learn about. Then we have to go with a sequence. So what is the word we have now? Awesome. 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 So the first alphabet here is A. Yes? Yeah. So we just go to the alphabetical order. The word starts with A. Yes. Then there are plenty of words, and even the A has its own meaning. Okay. A means one. Yes. Next immediately and. Okay. So we get them in our articles. A and D, like that. Fine. A and. Then A N D. And. And and, you know. So these words go with a sequence. So immediately what do? We have to check the second letter of the word. So, and that is also in a alphabetical order. So immediately you should check the word which starts with AW, right? AW. Fine. So we can turn the pages and we just locate. We see in an order we have to go, and we should check the word with AW. Very good. Then after AW, we may get some AWE or AWA kind of words, we don't know. So we have to see the third letter also in the same order, AWE. So immediately that, so AWE, there would be some few only few words will be available. So awesome. Immediately you can locate the word in an alphabetical order, in a sequence. Okay. So in this way we locate the word. At the same time, in a dictionary, on the top of the page you have left side, one word in the left side and the right side. So in general, we can see the left side of the word is, it indicates the beginning word of that page, and the right side of the word shows the end of the word in that page. So that is also useful. It gives directions to locate the word. So we need not to go through the page wise. We can only see the top of the pages. We can see only with a guess. Okay. In an alphabetical, see for example, you are searching for AW. Obviously you can you referred a page with the A, then next immediately it was AL, then after AM. So you go on turning on the pages until you get the word AW on the top of the page, or nearby words, and you could see the right side word. In this way the left and right words on the top of the page are available. So it is very easy. So alphabetical order and the top of the page also. So in this way we can locate a word, and after locating the word you can see the related words. It also gives the functions immediately: noun, phrasal verbs, idioms, sometimes synonyms, antonyms. Okay. It also gives the differentiation between noun and related words. In this way we can search. Okay. So whenever we find a new word, it is our duty to refer a dictionary, know the meaning, know the spelling and pronunciation, and then after we can check for these details too. So yeah, of course we'll see in the next class. I will show you the dictionary itself. Okay, fine. So this is one thing, and moreover we'll also learn about syllabification. Syllables. How many? See, alphabet. With the help of alphabet we frame words. With the help of words we frame sentences. With the help of sentences we do a paragraph. Like this, we have syllables. Okay, just like for example in our mother tongue, for example, for example, if you take Telugu language itself, if I say the word Telugu, okay, I just show you on the screen now. One second. What is a syllabification? Let us see. Just
మనం టీవీ విడొచ్చా అమ్మ టీవీ విడొచ్చా కిస్
Oh, I'm sorry, it's something wrong with this. Yeah, got it. Thank you. Okay, right. Yeah, I write the word Telugu. Okay. Yeah. Here you could see Telugu. 1, 2, 3. Here in our Telugu language we have Gunintalu, Ottulu like this. So here we just pronounce te itself te. Okay. We don't write like ta and like this. Okay. Here this entire syllable aksharam itself is a, so we just pronounce directly. So let me show you in English now. Let us translate the same thing to here. Now I write Telugu in English. Right? Telugu. Like this. 2, 3. Yes? Yeah, I show you. Yeah. To pronounce te, we use ta here. Okay. To pronounce Telugu te, we use 2 alphabets. Okay. Right. For lu, lu. Then for gu for gu. But whereas in Telugu it is just 3-letter word. Okay. Remember? So this is the syllabification. So this is called syllable. So to pronounce one letter, so syllable, that is called a syllable. So we use the combination of like. So you can check your names too. For example, I use another example. I show you here. Here I write a 2-letter word Shrestha. Yes, Shrestha. If I translate this to English, okay, English, yeah. SRESHTA. Okay, SRESHTA. For example, I just wipe it off. So for Shre, how many letters are here? Sre, SRE is Shre, SHTA, star. Okay, 2-letter word in Telugu, but in English it has become 7-letter word. Sometimes we can even use SH, it depends. because in English, the Telugu nouns, whatever it is, with our interest that we can write a spelling. So SRE or SHRE, both are correct. Okay, it depends on our choice. Okay, sometimes you can check the spellings of Srinivas. SRINIVA Srinivas, SREENIVA Srinivas. So both are correct. So here we need not to worry about the spelling of nouns. Okay, fine. So that is syllabification. So with the help of dictionary, we also learn syllabification, and it helps us to pronounce well. Pronunciation, it helps to pronunciation at the same time spelling. So these are the benefits that we get from a dictionary. Okay, fine. Let us move on to the slides. Okay, I just go with the slides now. Live board, yeah, PowerPoint. So yeah, now we learned two things. What is the need of a dictionary? So we can locate a new word, we can refer. So how do we use a dictionary? Alphabetical order, series. Okay, so what are the uses we get? Meaning, spelling, pronunciation, syllabification, synonyms, antonyms, all these things. So remember, so we get two questions like this. What is a dictionary? How do we locate a word? So we have to explain the steps involved. Okay, next is like what are the uses. So these are the benefits that we get from a dictionary. Let us check the slides now. Okay, let us check the slides. Okay, just a minute. So these are the how to use a dictionary. Yeah, this is what. Yeah, let me read it for you. Yeah, a dictionary is a collection of words and their definitions, and sometimes other information. Such collections are usually printed as books, but some are now designed for use on computers. Yes, as we discussed about the digital dictionary, and now we have already checked a word in our mobile app. So it's a collection of words. It's an enormous collection. It's a huge collection that we get in our dictionary. Like sometimes we also get the meaning of borrowed words from other languages, Latin, Greek, Russian words. We also find them in. So by using regularly, frequently, so they may become popular, and those words could be included in dictionary. And dictionaries are updated. Okay, so that is the reason they publish like 7th version, 3rd version, like this they give. Okay, because words are generating, new words do join, and sometimes, yeah, in this way, so yeah, new words join. So do you, for example, let us see, let me give you an example. You know the word citizen? all of us netizen, we know citizen means, yeah, a responsible person in a country. Okay, citizen, we know that. So now we have netizen, NETIZEN. Okay, netizen, who is a netizen here? The one who uses internet network. We all become netizens. Now all of us have become netizens because we are using online classes, we are using digital media, we are using social media. So in this way we have become netizens. That means with the help of internet we are doing this. So these new words also generate. So always the dictionaries get updated. Okay, but nowadays as we are using smartphones, it is not necessary to buy the updated versions of dictionary. So we should have a standard dictionary. Okay, standard dictionary at our home, that is helpful. Advanced Learners English Dictionary. Okay, Oxford or Cambridge dictionary is more relevant, and that is good enough for us. So this is ample of books, and there are lakhs of words in that dictionary. So we should opt for a Advanced Learners English Dictionary. That is really interesting and easy and helpful to us. And this upgradation could be done with the smartphone and these kind of digital apps. Okay, so that is one thing that we have to know. So it's a huge collection, enormous collection of the words of a particular language. So generally we are talking about English dictionary. So there are words words which we can't refer in our lifetime, which we can't refer in our lifetime itself. Nobody can read entire dictionary. Only we refer a dictionary whenever we need, whenever we want to see the meaning of a particular word. Fine. Let us see here. Yeah, so what is a dictionary? It's a collection of words. Plenty. Yeah. Yeah, so it has given all the points. You to go through them. I just go to the highlights. So choose the right dictionary. It's also a good idea to upgrade your dictionary every now and then, so that you have access to the latest new words that are added to the dictionary every year. Yeah, that is the same point we have just discussed. Next, e-books. Yeah, just let me. A dictionary is a reference book. It is not a textbook. A dictionary is a reference book containing a list of words of a language arranged in alphabetical order along with the information about them. It helps the learners understand various words and developing their vocabulary. Dictionaries come in all shapes and sizes. Okay. Some of them Some of them are little dictionaries, school dictionaries, pocket dictionaries, concise dictionaries, compact dictionaries, mini dictionaries, and advanced learners dictionaries. Yes, as I mentioned about advanced learners dictionary, that is a reference book. We can keep it at home only. We can't carry it. We can't carry that book to college nor to office. So instead, it is good for reference. It is good to have that dictionary in our personal library, but at the same time we should have a little dictionary, small dictionary, okay, pocket dictionary. So it is really helpful to when we are when we are on the way, when we are in journeys, or when you are sitting with a friend, when you are listening to some conversation. If you have a pocket dictionary in your hand, immediately you could check the meaning. Okay, immediately you can check the meaning and refer the dictionary. So that is what we have to know. Next, yeah, we have to know the instructions. They are meant introduction. So we are always, it is better to read the introduction of the dictionary. They give it in the beginning, the starting pages. Okay, how the entries are explain important information such as the abbreviations and pronunciation symbols used throughout the dictionary. Yes, abbreviations and pronunciation symbols. For example, abbreviation, like if it is the word is a noun, n, small letter n will be written just in the brackets of that particular word, n, noun. If it is an adjective, adj, adj in small letters, italics maximum. And if it is adverb, adv. If it is an adverb, adv. If it is an idiom, id. Okay, like this also. Sorry, it is helpful. Fine, let us see the third. Why it is getting stuck. Fine. Learn the abbreviations. Yeah, we should know. So always it is good to read the introduction of the dictionary, and we should move on. And of course, with this help of lecture, we could learn how to locate a word. Dictionaries often have abbreviations in the definitions for a word. This can be confusing if you don't know what the abbreviations stand for. Yeah, just now we discussed that. That is okay. Learn the guide to pronunciation. Yeah, I was talking about the phonetic transcription. That is a different part. We have to learn the phonetic transcription. You know, as I given an example of syllabification, we have 26 alphabet in our English language. 26 alphabet, A to Z, 26. But the sounds we make. Okay, so there are 44 consonant sounds and 24 vowel sounds. Okay, so there are 44 consonant sounds and 24 20 yeah 20 vowel sounds. For example, let me give an example. What is a phonetic transcription? Just let me give you an example. For example, if I say the word chair, 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 what is the pronunciation? What is the syllable here in Telugu? chair, cha, chair. So chair, Chinalo chair, okay, chai. We are pronouncing with the alphabet CHAIR. Chai, adi ra sound. R is ra sound. Ra nakarapallu. But chain. Fine. Here, the word which started with CH may become all should be pronounced like che only, no? Che sound, che, change, CHANG, change. Here also we are pronouncing the word with a cha sound. Change, chair, challenge, okay, challenge, okay, okay, child. So all these words, they start with the alphabet CH, syllable CH, okay, child, chair, challenge, change, choice, chance. So CH is common in these words. Fine. I give you another word which starts with CH but it doesn't pronounce with cha sound here. Here I just speak character. I say that character. 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 So, but the same CH has become the ka sound. Character. Ka related. Ka gunintamloki vachesindi. So, this is the difference that we can learn from the phonetic transcription. What is a phonetic transcription? So, this is the phonetic transcription, that how the words could be pronounced well. So this is the reason we should know phonetic transcription, and we all of us know A to Z alphabets, but we really don't know the sounds. Okay, this is a combination of 44 sounds, consonant sounds. We know what are consonants and vowels in English alphabet. A, E, I, O, U, that explain the vowel sounds, and other rest of other 21 alphabet give the consonant sounds. For example, as I mentioned here, B. If you take small b, ba sound, you can see ba sound. Small b. If you take D, small d, that becomes da sound. N, na sound. Okay, like that. S, sa sound. Okay. S also shre. I gave an example with shreshta. That means sha sound also. Okay. If you write the word name of a girl Sarita, Saritha, Sarita, you read as Sarita, and there Shreshta. We have examined one example here, Shre. So S is used for sha and sa. So we should know the phonetic symbols. Let us discuss them in a separate class. Okay. But it is only an idea we should have, because we can't go idle. What is this pronunciation? No, we should know the phonetic transcription. Fine. So find the section of the dictionary with the first letter of your word. As I already discussed, it should start with the first letter of the word. Dictionaries follow alphabetical order. For example, dog begins with D, which means that it will be in the section after C and before E. Exactly. So that is the alphabetical order. That read the guide words. These are the two words at the top of the page. Directions. I mentioned about the directions, which gives a direction to the locate the word. And here we can mention them as guide words. These guide words are available on the top of the page. These are the two words at the top of the page that tell you what types of words are on the page. These words will help find the word you are looking for in the right letter section. Yes. In the next class, we just see the dictionary. I'll show you the dictionary. We'll locate a word practically, and I also show a mini dictionary. Okay, fine. Yeah, so we should know the gist. So, yeah. Now, let us have a glance on the kinds of dictionaries. Let us see. I'll show you here and the types. As I mentioned, bilingual, Telugu to English, English to Telugu dictionary, and English to English. But let us see which is helpful dictionary for us. For you people, the people who are in college education, you have to go for a English to English dictionary only. You have to go for an English to English dictionary only. Okay, you may refer, but it is better if you want to buy. If you want to have your own collection of the dictionary, it is better to go for an advanced learners dictionary, and it will be helpful. So let us see on the screen now. General dictionary. It gives the general meaning or meanings of a word. Example, Oxford Dictionary of English. Yeah, so this is some generally. Specialized dictionary. It focuses on specific subject area. Example, Merriam-Webster's Medical Dictionary. Specialized, technical dictionary, medical field, agriculture field. Okay, so the terminology, the words often used in that particular field, they design a dictionary about that particular field they go with. Okay, so in this way they design a dictionary, specialized dictionary for the branches of science or social sciences, or it could be anything. Okay, those words may be available in the general dictionary, but this specialized dictionary is very easy, feasible to use. Okay, etymological dictionary. So it describes the origin and development of a word. So most of the large dictionaries provide the etymological information of a word. However, there are few dictionaries exclusively designed for providing etymological information. That means where it has come, whether it is a Latin word or Greek word, how this word has formed. Okay, the spelling. There is a difference in spellings too. For example, if you take the word COLOUR, color, COLOUR, color, is a British English word. The spelling of color in British English COLOUR, and in American it is COLOR. So these are some differences we find in English language. So generally we follow British English. So etymology, how it is originated, where it has taken from. So these kind of details will be given in an etymological dictionary. Okay. But in the app which we have seen for Awesome, they have it also shows an etymology, where it has taken from, whether it is a Greek word, Latin word, Japanese word, Russian word, like this. Okay. Illustrated dictionary. It's not just about words. It contains pictures. It is useful to the children in visualizing the concept. They give pictures. For example, there is a pot, they give the picture of the pot. Children may not understand what is POT, but they may understand by seeing the picture itself. There is a bird, BIRD, bird. They know the bird, they may not know the spelling of the bird, but after seeing the picture itself, they can say that it is a bird. Okay, and immediately they can check the spelling, BIRD, like this. So illustrated, that means which gives an example, pictures. So that really helpful. Primary English Dictionary, fine. Oxford Illustrated Primary. Reverse Dictionary. It helps the reader to find the appropriate words by describing the concept. It helps the reader to find the appropriate word by describing the concept. Yeah, reverse dictionary. So that means it shows the concept, the usage, the situation. So this kind of words could be checked. So that is also available in the Oxford. Next, bilingual dictionary, as already discussed. That is bilingual dictionary. That means in two languages you can see. Telugu to English. Sometimes you find like English to Telugu and English. English to English, Telugu. English to English, Hindi. Like this also we find. Yeah. In three. Bilingual dictionary, it gives the meanings words in a specific language. English to English, Telugu dictionary published by Dr. Bose and brothers. Okay, rhyming dictionary, monolingual or explanatory dictionary. Thesaurus means which gives these synonyms, antonyms, and synonyms and antonyms of the particular word, sometimes with pronunciation. Electronic dictionary, that means digital form that we use in mobile and online, laptop, computer, whatever it is. Idioms dictionary. So yeah, in quotations, proverbs, idioms, these are also find in alphabetical order. They arrange them and we can see them. Okay, pronunciation dictionary, that means phonetic transcription. I was talking about the sounds and vowel sounds and consonant sounds. Next, encyclopedia dictionary. This is a wide range of topics arranged alphabetically. The medical, they mix the topics. So okay, fine. So with this, we just end our today's session. So today we came to know about our importance. Why do we need a dictionary? How do we use a dictionary? So this is how do we locate a word? So two things that we have to remember. One thing is to know new words, and it is really helpful. So if you want to describe something, you should know words, and if you want to use the words, you should know the meaning and usage of the words. Okay, fine. We just continue the same topic in the next session happily. So by the time, have a good day, all of you. Fine. Take care.